Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines. How about this? No tax on cryptocurrency? How about this? Forbes says Ripple is replacing Swift. How about somebody roll that beautiful intro?
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Right now, $2.51 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 1.3. Right now, Bitcoin, 70,900 plus. It's been over 71,000 clearly. So, head on a swivel. We're knocking on the all-time high for Bitcoin's door right now. Ethereum, 2,600 plus. USD Tether, 119 billion plus. USDC, 34 billion plus. XRP number 7 spot, 52 cents. We're up 0.9 on the 24. We're off 1.7 on the 7-day. Let's get into it. The range of price between 51 and 52 cents. We'll keep an eye on it. I want to tell you right now about I Trust Capital, the best home in the world for crypto, gold, and silver IRAs, ladies and gentlemen. What's the best way for a retail customer, a retail investor to get institutional custody? It's through an IRA. Yeah, absolutely. You can do it too. Empowered with your own back office where you can buy and sell into assets. Roll over your 401, your 403B, your 457 and more. Click the link below and check out my sponsor. Let's get started. Look at this. This I don't need to play again. I played it on the first video this morning, but I'm setting the tone for this new information we're going to look at today, and you are going to want it. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says the Fed will cut interest rates at least another quarter point this year. Well, there's not much of this year left. There's 2 months left. So this is getting exciting knowing they've already cut a half a point. So that's how bad things are. And let's take a look at what that does. You know what that means for assets like crypto, gold, and silver, historically speaking? Not financial advice. It means that assets normally, historically speaking, go up. 99% of Bitcoin holders are in profit as Bitcoin approaches its all-time high. That means nobody's upside down. Not many people can be upside down with the numbers where they are right now in Bitcoin. And I'm happy for them and myself. You know, I've got exposure to that. Now there's calls as low as $94,000 in line for Bitcoin right now. Now we know quite a few people, Eggrag Crypto and others, talking about $100,000 or more Bitcoin. This falling in line just underneath of that call, so we'll keep an eye on it. And then what do we know too? Founder Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, just announced that he reversed his stance on Bitcoin and has announced that Cardano's Layer 1 is pivoting to become a Bitcoin Layer 2, meaning you will be able to use Bitcoin and interact with the Cardano network together in an interoperable manner for DeFi and other issues and reasons like privacy. This is exciting because I'm starting to see that interoperability, and it's a multi-chain world after all, right? It is a multi-chain world after all. We know that Bitcoin's been on the XRP ledger since 2014, according to Chris Larson. So I love seeing this kind of integration and interoperability use case. Wonderful. And then this is here from David Schwartz resharing Eric Voorhees when he's sharing the U.S. federal government outlays and the net interest that's been paid, and it's showing 12-month sum. Look at this. Look at the interest paid on our debt. That's what we're looking at here. Interest paid on our debt. Look at that hockey stick. That is not good, ladies and gentlemen. And that's another reason I'm saying I think we're going to see this catalyst along with Fed rate cuts, this kind of interest being paid on the debt. You know, these things start to mount up for the case that assets are about to skyrocket. And then here I have a clip. Now, this is from a clip that I played a piece of yesterday or the day before, but I don't want to play the same clip, so don't mistake it. This is not the same clip. Listen to what he says here. This is Van Eck, Matthew Seigel.
Totally correlated with risk assets. If there's a lot of liquidity, risk assets seem to go up. Therefore, Bitcoin seems to go up and down. It doesn't seem to be a safe haven with risk assets. It seems to move totally correlated with, the NASDAQ or the Magnificent Seven or whatever.
The correlations change over time. Over a 10-year time horizon, the NASDAQ correlation with Bitcoin is a 0.19, quite low. Over the last 3 months, it's a 0.5, and that's a 2.5-year high. And that may be keeping some allocators on the sideline because they want to see it fall. Our bet is that this is a very bullish setup for Bitcoin into the election. We saw the exact same pattern in 2020 where Bitcoin lagged with low volatility. And then once a winner was announced, we had a high vol rally as new buyers come into this market. And that's the
And you know what? And that's the amazing thing about it, is that if we're seeing some kind of rinse and repeat from the cycle, the election cycle of 2020, then watch out, ladies and gentlemen, because that is days away. So this is getting super exciting. And historically speaking, again, what happens after Bitcoin goes on a run and hits its peak? Altcoins, baby. XRP. And meanwhile, while all of that is taking place, Paul Grewal at Coinbase, the chief legal officer there, former federal judge, today Coinbase filed an amicus brief on behalf of Beba Collection and Fund DeFi to stop the destructive regulation by enforcement campaign waged by the SEC against law-abiding American companies. Most destructive of all is that the SEC itself can't even make up their mind about the claim about what they claim the law is. And that's absolutely true, no doubt about it. And you see the same thing being echoed here by Brian Armstrong, who is demanding that the SEC, the new SEC chair that comes into play, withdraw all frivolous cases and issue an apology to the American people. I like that for a start. And there he is showing the same chart as we've seen for Paul Grewal. And, I do think that this is a great idea. But more importantly, it's like, don't just come out and drop the cases. Congress needs to pass legislation so we don't need any more cases unless someone's actually broken the law that Congress needs to pass. So that's kind of where we're at here. But speaking of politics, oh boy, this one's going to raise some hairs here. Trump is proposing zero tax on American crypto assets. During a recent interview, Trump stated they have them paying tax on crypto, and I don't think that's right. Bitcoin is money, and you have to pay capital gains tax if you use it to buy a coffee. I was talking with a friend and he said it really shouldn't be taxed, and I agree. Maybe we get rid of taxes on crypto and replace it with tariffs. He continues stating no tax on crypto, but only tokens made in the USA. We want tokens made here at home. We don't want the Chinese tokens. We say get those Chinese tokens out of here. This would mean Bitcoin and XRP, American crypto assets, would be subject to zero tax, while tokens created overseas, such as Ethereum, would be taxed out of the American economy. This is something I have brought up for many years on this channel. You cannot stop the technology. I have agreed with that over and over, no matter whose technology. I get it. You can't stop the technology. But you could tax it out of existence if you wanted to, if you're a government. And that's exactly what the suggestion is here. And let's go one step further. One step further is, technically, we don't know where crypto or Bitcoin comes from. That's been the whole talk and conversation about, let's find out from the Homeland Security, who said that they interviewed the 4 Satoshis. Let's find out where they're from. And let's get to the bottom of that, because we do need to know that. But however, we understand that here in the U.S., there is clarity for Bitcoin and XRP exclusively. And knowing that Ethereum has been in a place where the SEC is in a rock and a hard place, that they've wanted to sue it. They said it was a security, then they said it wasn't. Now they're not sure. They're in a tough spot because of the way they did not properly handle the ICO. Now there's even more of a tough spot for Ethereum, because we know Ethereum is backed largely by Wanzhang, which is a CC-backed Communist China Party-backed company, and that's a problem for Ethereum too. So now this gets bigger, and the question of whether these things should be taxed or not falls back to about a month ago. I covered an article on the channel here, if you remember, where it was floated that they would reclassify all cryptos as currency, right? And doesn't that sound a lot like this point that Donald Trump is making here? So if that is the case, then all cryptos would fall under the Bank Secrecy Act, which means they would be heightened regulations to that monitoring, and it would put it under the direct purview of the banks and the Treasury. Think of it for a moment. Here's a reminder here, with all the tokenization that's coming, Zonics Fund assets under management could exceed $600 billion by 2030. Zonics is a Ripple partner. Just wanted to remind everybody there. So keep a lookout here. And imagine the amount of custody you could see if we find out there's no taxes on crypto. Just thought about it for a minute. And then you know what? I went back and pulled this up. Former executive Craig Dwit, who was also brought onto the FedNow team to represent Ripple, the Faster Payments Council. How about that? Very exciting. Yeah, there was back in 21. Congratulating him, damn right. And it's super cool. But I want you to hear a take here. This is from about a year or so ago, where Craig breaks down what he thinks could happen in the space after the Ripple case. Now, this was over a year or more ago, and I think Craig had it right then, and I think he's even more right now.
But give me a couple good sound bites.
Go, crypto is life, man. You got the. Those are the same thing for me. Here's my hot take.
Hit me.
SEC gets their ass kicked in the Ripple case. Absolutely get their ass kicked in the Ripple case.
He was right about that one.
But the ruling comes out in such a way that XRP is alone cleared as a non-security in the United States. Meaning that with all the other stuff that the SEC is pulling, suing exchanges, suing other coins, are going to sue some big ones as well, that only BTC and XRP have legal clarity in the United States for a 2-year period.
Think of it for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Think of that for a moment. Think of how close we are to some legislation here. Obviously, he was a part of the Faster Payments Council. He was obviously at Ripple as well. And shout out to Craig and all his endeavors he's working on today. This article just came out last couple days here, and it is a Forbes article. And is reported by saying, if you go into the article here, and I got it highlighted, Ripple is a digital payment network and protocol launched in 2012 by Chris Larson and Jed McCaleb. It says here, the network uses XRP as its native cryptocurrency to enable fast, low-cost international money transfer and currency exchanges. Now think of it with no taxes. Ripple focuses on serving banks and financial institutions by replacing traditional cross-border payment systems like SWIFT, ladies and gentlemen. That article came out 2 days ago. Chris Larson lets you know what's going on. We know what XRP isn't from the SEC versus Ripple case. It is not a security in and of itself. But if you go all the way back to 2015, FinCEN, which is connected to the U.S. Treasury Department, says that XRP is a currency. Take a listen.
It's an established currency. And it was actually declared formally a currency by the Treasury Department, FinCEN, in a settlement back in 2015.
There you have it. And that is the actual settlement writing right there. FinCEN recognized XRP as a virtual currency. Now, if this is the case, I want you to think about the idea of no tax on crypto and understanding that XRP is already a currency according to the U.S. Treasury. And we know it's not a security according to the federal government and the federal judge. This is getting so good, ladies and gentlemen. So good. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.